Mambo ni matatu.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. Will Edwin Sifuna, the ODM Secretary General, survive the onslaught from Raila Odinga's allies?
Nikasema, why is this young man contradicting the party leader? Kumbe sikujua ni nyinyi mko nyuma ya Sifu. Nyinyi ni shazi sa.
That is the question which most Kenyans are currently asking. Will Edwin Sifuna survive? Because from all indications, Raila Odinga's allies are out to show him the door.
We cannot allow, and we shall not allow, and we have never allowed Baba to be disrespected just because you are someone in the party. We want to send a warning. You might have served that party longer than me, but I want to tell you as I stand here, I came in as independent, meaning I have more powers than you. You didn't be a senator without that party. So I am telling you, you will not negotiate about respecting Baba and the party.
And the next question which we should be asking ourselves is, what next for Edwin Sifuna? That video will come tomorrow. But in this video, I want us to analyze Rigathi Gachagua's speech today in America. In that speech, Rigathi Gachagua was offering unsolicited advice to Raila Amolo Odinga. Watch very briefly before we proceed.
Bwana Prime Minister, wewe ile kitu hiyo Kasongo ataonesha wewe, uliza mimi. The guy is pretending to be nice to you, but utakuja kuniambia. If he called me and the whole mountain, na sisi vile tumesoma, na vile tunajifikiria tumejanuka. This, when he brought Raila, nikamuliza huyu mzee, umemuleta, asema bana, we are just managing this mzee. Tumtafutie kitu kidogo ya kukula anyamaze. Alafu tumwambie kuna hii kitu ya report ya dialogue atoe, lakini it will go nowhere. I want to tell you, Raila Odinga, William Ruto told me that NADCO report will go nowhere. He's just conning you. And he has told Ichung'wa and company in parliament to delay it until the next election. So you are there waiting for Ruto to implement the NADCO report. There is nothing, he will not do it. Again, he told me, and I have seen it has come to pass, that he'll be close to you and he'll divide ODM right in the middle. Today, as we speak, ODM fellows are abusing each other. The Luo MP leaders of ODM are abusing the Luya ones. And the Luya ones are abusing the Luo ones. Just what William Ruto told me. That I'll go near this ODM. It's a strong party. I will divide it right in the middle. So wewe mzee Raila, although watu yako wananitukana, wacha nikuchanue kidogo. Wewe Ruto atamaliza chama yako ya ODM. NADCO will never see the right of the day. Amefanya jensi wa kuchukie. Waluya wamekuacha, Wakamba wamekuacha, Wakisii wamekuacha, amekuachia Wajaluo nusu. By the time William Ruto is through with you, you will be nobody in Kenyan politics.
Let me ask you this question. Assuming Rigathi Gachagua had not been impeached, do you think he would be out of government today? I'm asking that question because I still remember it very clearly. In May 2023, I think I'm not wrong, the late Mukami Kimathi was buried in Nyandarua. Raila Odinga attended that burial. And I remember very clearly the senator for Nyandarua lecturing Raila Odinga like a child at that event.
Tunataka kuomba msamaha, mimi mwenyewe niombe msamaha sana. Munisamehe sana kwa sababu nimesikia iko kitu mmekuwa mkitafuta huko Nairobi, na hiyo kitu mmekuwa mkitafuta Nairobi mimi ndio niko naye. Mpaka nikasikia mlifanya mpaka maandamano huko Nairobi mkaribu mali ya watu. Mlikitafuta kitu ilikuwa inaitwa server na mimi ndio niko na server. Hiyo server mlikuwa mnatafuta huko Nairobi, mimi nimeshafungua. Na Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga nimefungua ile server na nikaona hii watu walitulima. Hii watu hawatukuwashinda.
I also remember at that time Rigathi Gachagua getting the microphone and lecturing Raila Odinga. And when Raila Odinga got the mic, Raila Odinga advised those people that he knows William Ruto and that he had worked with him before. Today, Rigathi Gachagua was advising Raila Odinga. I want you guys to go back to May 2023 and listen to Raila Odinga because he's going to form the basis of this analysis.
Kwa hivyo sisi kama wanaazimio si waendawazimu. Sisi kama si waendawazimu tunaweza tukuelewana. Tunaweza tukuelewana. Sivyo? Huyo bwana senator ananiambia mimi ati yeye hakuna sawa, ameangalia sawa. Si nani anatuma ya kile sawa. Huyu Ruto huyo nimefanya naye kazi kwa muda mrefu sana. Yeye ananijua mimi. Kwa hiyo sasa ile akipiga kelele huko mimi naangalia tu. Najua atapoa. Sisi tumesema tumetuma sasa watu wetu jopo kazi. Yeye ameleta watu yake na tumeleta watu yangu waongee. Wakelewana sawa sawa. Lakini sangini mimi naambia ukweli. Gharama ya maisha imepanda. Hapana, leta ushuru mingi zaidi. Hapana, ni weko tena mzigo mwingine juu yake. Punda imechoka. Jamaa hawaambii wewe. Mimi ndio niweze kuambia wewe tu. Punda imechoka. Tutaongea wakati mwingine. Asanteni sana. Mungu awabariki mama kwa ujumbe.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've always opined on this platform on many occasions that in politics, we have only two constants. The first constant in politics is interest, and the second constant in politics is betrayal. For me, I tend to think that Rigathi Gachagua has failed to understand the fact that in politics, there are only two constants. And Raila Odinga understands those two constants. And that's why Raila Odinga is currently working with William Ruto, because his interest and those of Ruto are currently converging. The day William Ruto will betray Raila Odinga will take it in grace. It has happened before. And the reason I played that clip of Raila Odinga in Inooro is to demonstrate that Raila Odinga doesn't care. At that time, the country was still very tough. Before we get into all those details, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give my take on Rigathi Gachagua's speech, especially the unsolicited advice to Raila Odinga. My first take is that Raila Odinga, based on what I'm observing, will work with William Ruto until 2027. The truth is, politics being a dynamic game, it can change, and Raila Odinga might actually jump the ship. But as things stand today, Raila Odinga is with Ruto to the end. What am I trying to say? I'm only trying to offer my unsolicited advice to Rigathi Gachagua. The Raila has gone with Ruto. So if the aim is to send William Ruto home, then it should include Raila also home. But if he's still trying to bank on Raila Odinga to support their mission, that mission is going to flop. So that's one thing Rigathi must know. That Raila is currently with Ruto. Number two, and this is why I tend to think that Raila can work with Ruto more than he worked with Rigathi. Ruto worked with Rigathi for how long? less than 2 years. For Raila, they worked during the Grand Coalition government. Again, they are working together. The truth is, that's going to be possible because ideologically, William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua are not compatible. Just like Uhuru and Ruto, ideologically, they were never compatible. Ruto was coming from the hustler, Uhuru was coming from the dynasty. Only thing which brought them together was their interest. The same way, Rigathi and Ruto, their interests are not converging. Raila's interest and those of Ruto might actually converge ideologically. And Gashagua should note that. So if he's hoping that Ruto will betray Raila, it might not happen. It will happen, but not now. Probably after the next election. And number 3, and I think I mentioned this in one of my video the other day, that Rigathi Gachagua is actually making certain mistakes. And one of the mistakes he's making, and I think is the biggest, is that he's talking too much. Rigathi should now reduce his talk. He should talk less. I watched some GNCs challenging him in some town hall meeting there. Why? Because he's been talking too much, exposing himself. If Rigathi has to talk, those talks should be about what he stands for. The issues, for example, on the issue of education, on the issue of healthcare, on the issue of corruption, on the issue of, let's say, regional balance, all those issues, he should be putting them to Kenyans. But what he's doing, which for me I think is doing because he's a political scientist, who is a good communicator, I think what Rigathi is trying to do is trying to emotionally appeal to the hearts of his supporters, which is good, but for short term. In the long term, it's going to be counterproductive because you can't keep on telling people the same thing. That's the biggest problem William Ruto is currently dealing with, because William Ruto really played with emotions of most of his supporters at that time. Because William Ruto played with the emotions of most of his supporters at that time. Right now, those emotions have cooled. So the people he played with are now asking him questions. Emotionally, Rigathi should trigger them around few months to elections. And lastly, Rigathi should focus more on the agenda, his agenda for Kenya. I think that one I've explained so much. But I think it could be right that William Ruto might actually play Raila Odinga. But I know for sure, before Raila falls victim of William Ruto, Ruto shall be crying in the toilet. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.